Alright, we are now going to finally play Godzilla for NES. We've done some other Godzilla videos, like the ones on GameCube, like the Melee and all that stuff.
But I remember seeing this game in Nintendo Power as a kid, and I just saw the screenshots of like that weird chess game looking thing, and I thought it was like a Godzilla chess game, and I stayed away from it for a while.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the overworld map. Like,
yeah, because then there's the side-scrolling action parts, like that. That's what I saw, and I was like, okay, like that's.
It looks like a honeycomb.
Yeah.
So what it is, though, so you could either be Godzilla or Mothra, and what you're trying to do is get them from the one side to the other side. Like, you see that sort of satellite dish
It's like
thing?
Battle Masters. Yeah, Godzilla does not fight in space in any film except for Monster Zero, Invasion of the Astro Monster.
Hey James, I got a challenge for you. Can you name all the Godzilla movies
In a row? You want me to just
Sure.
name them?
See if you can do it. See if you can do it. Just see how far you can make it.
They all have multiple titles, so like.
Well, any title.
I'm just gonna say one title for each one.
All right.
So it may not be like the most, what do you say, like accepted title, but I'm gonna say just whatever title I know.
Okay.
Or whichever title I like the most, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
So anyway, so anyway, you got the original Godzilla 1954. Then you have Godzilla Raids again. King Kong versus Godzilla, Mothra versus Godzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Monster Zero, Son of Godzilla, Godzilla versus the Sea Monster,
Revenge,
Destroy All Monster, Godzilla's Revenge. Did I name 10 just now? I think it was.
You're up to Revenge, right?
Yes,
so
I did Revenge.
What's after Revenge?
I mean, you have to double check me when you look at the video, but
Right,
after Revenge is Godzilla versus Gigan? No, Godzilla versus Smog Monster, Godzilla versus Gigan, Godzilla versus Megalon, Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, Terror of Mecha Godzilla. That's 15, so that's the first series. Then Godzilla 84 or 85, whichever you want to call it. Godzilla versus Biollante, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Godzilla versus Mothra, the second Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, Godzilla 98, Godzilla 2000, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus,
Wow, you're doing well.
GMK.
Wait, so
Hang on. What?
What was the GMK?
Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters.
Oh, you're like abbreviating. Oh, you're abbreviating it. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, I know.
GMK.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
I'm sure they do, but like.
Yeah, Tokyo SOS. No. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Tokyo SOS.
Who's this, by the way?
That's Magura.
Oh, it says on the screen.
Then, Tokyo SOS. Godzilla Final Wars. Godzilla 2014. Shin Godzilla. And then the new Godzilla King of the Monsters. I think I just nailed all of them. Double check me.
That was pretty fucking good, dude. Even if you're a little off, it was pretty fucking close, I'd say.
Okay.
It's probably right. You and your Godzilla.
That was a good quiz.
So which is this movie from? That guy?
Mysterians. But then he appeared again in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla.
Now you see that other dude over there that I'm gonna try to fight?
Gazora.
Yeah, what's that one from?
The Space Amoeba or whatever.
You ever see that?
A long time ago. I mean, there's so many of those movies. Like, there's like, if you count all the ones that don't have Godzilla, all the other Toho films, you got like, you have Mothra Rodan, you have Varan, Frankenstein versus Baragon, and War of the Gargantuas, and Amanda the Serpent, and Atragon.
What?
Latitude Zero with the flying lion.
You could do a whole Monster Matters of just the other Godzilla movies, like those ones.
We've done a few, but
what about those ones that are like the other Mothra movies, like Mothra? There's like 3 of them, and they're more recent. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Rebirth of Mothra.
Yeah, that goes
with fucking Death Ghidorah and
Death Ghidorah.
There's Death Ghidorah, Cretaceous Ghidorah.
Cretaceous Ghidorah.
Yeah. There's like all. I
don't know that one.
There's like different Ghidorahs.
I haven't seen.
Oh, and you know about all the Can you name all the Mothras? That's really complicated. There's like Fairy Mothra and like I forget, like Earth Mothra, Cosmos Mothra. Like there's a bunch of like Mothras.
Cosmos Mothra.
Yeah, you want me to look them up?
No, I want you to tell me off the top of your head.
I forget, yeah.
I know some people that play the game, they just use the tail attack the whole time. I've tried that, but apparently that's a secret to like do really well in this game. But like for me, it doesn't really like work. I've always had a hard time with this game, and I own this one growing up. This is one of the ones I had, and I didn't really. I always kind of like this game. By the way, this is probably one of my first exposures to Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Like back then and before,
Yeah. I mean, it's really not too bad looking back at it because it looks like Godzilla. Like, there's nothing really wrong with it, as far as the franchise is concerned.
So this is what Mothra does. If you hit start, Mothra, like the wings come down.
Yeah, which is odd, but that's what she does in this.
Yeah. Well, doesn't Mothra not do any kind of wing attack?
She does. She doesn't shoot wings though. It's like that's just weird.
Well, what does she do with the wings?
In the different movies, she does different things, but like in Godzilla vs. Mothra, like she shoots like pollen, like clouds of pollen, and the larvas shoot the web, and then I think some of them she shoots like lightning and stuff, but. It's just a weird design. Like it would be like punching fists at somebody, like a bunch of projectile fists.
Right.
Like I don't know, just a weird kind of idea. I like the little flying saucers though. I think when they finally started making these Godzilla games into fighting games with the monster versus battles, that's when it started to become like, okay, this is what we wanted from the beginning.
Right.
Like, why didn't you just do that?
Probably because they didn't know what to do with it at first, I would imagine. So I made it to the end of this field. So now I got both Mothra and Godzilla to the end of the field. You bring up this thing, and then you click yes, and it brings you. Now we're finally on the next map. See, now the field is different.
Yeah.
So, and if I bring this over here, you can see. So now we have those two. Remember, they were on the first level, and now you got this guy. Do you know who's that?
You know what? From that screen, wait, is it Varan? I mean, I don't think it's a very good depiction, but I think it's Varan. Can we find out? Like how?
Okay. Well, I'll start.
Try to. Do you have to get there? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to get to him. So
when I did the nerd video, I don't remember how far I got. That who you just fought looked like Ghidorah's head, like just one head.
Like I've always had sort of a thing about this game. Like I'd like to beat this game someday, not because like I think that this is a very mediocre NES game. It's not bad. I had this as a kid, and I mean I didn't really watch the movies much as a kid. I just knew of it, but I liked this. But that fucking honeycomb thing, like I just didn't understand the concept. Like as a kid, I was like, "What is this?" Like I couldn't grasp. Like I couldn't grasp that all it is a map.
Like if they would have made it look like the planet surface, and with like Mario 3, how it has like the roads, something like that.
Like I always wanted to see like Ghidorah in this, like because that's got to be the end, you know?
It's got to be,
or like Godzilla. Or maybe it's Gigan or something. Like I don't know, but. Oh yeah, maybe it's Mechagodzilla, but like I don't even know if I've ever gotten past this level.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna show, there's this fucking thing that happens. Basically, I want to actually see it, but there's this thing. See how all this shit's like shooting at you the whole time?
Yeah.
There's this one thing that comes, like once in a while, and if it touches you, you just die. You spend all this time going through the levels, and then a little fucking rocket comes and just kills you, and it's like, it's bullshit. Like I've avoided it. But they start like that. There it is, right there. Look at that.
That's it.
It took almost all my energy away. I'm not dead, but like I'm practically dead. Now I'm probably gonna.
Oh, and those things wouldn't hurt Godzilla. Like,
yeah, that's
really this game. You shouldn't be able to die at all because you're Godzilla.
That's true. Good point. That thing right there. See it?
Oh fuck.
Okay, I avoided it that time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what I don't like about this game. It is.
Yep.
You're
right, Varan. I mean, I remember Varan, his wings are kind of more webbed. Like, I don't see any wings on him.
Oh, do you think it's not perfect?
I mean, it is an NES game.
In this?
Yeah.
Even if it looks a little like him, then that's pretty good for NES. Like, imagine if there was a Godzilla game on Atari, what Godzilla would look like. It'd be a square.
On Atari, like, at least you could excuse it, but, yeah.
I know, I'm just...
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Oh, that's right, so... If you don't kill... There's time limits on the boss battles, so I'm gonna have to fight him again. Yes, I will fight the enemy. It's kind of stupid, because it's like... If they're gonna leave his energy down, you might as well just let the fight go. it doesn't say a time limit on screen, but there is a time limit to fight the boss.
Okay.
So, if you don't kill the boss in enough time,
yeah,
it'll just leave the battle.
Okay.
But when you go back into the battle, his energy is like halfway down, or however much you had hit him. So what's the point of leaving the battle if his energy doesn't come back? Yeah, so what I was going to ask you about Godzilla, like in general, though, is, so this movie's going to come out. Like, obviously you want to go into a Godzilla movie and come out of it feeling like, oh, that was the best Godzilla movie I ever saw. Because wouldn't that be the ideal thing? Like, to go in and see the movie and be like, that was the best Godzilla movie ever.
Yeah.
Right? So, do you think that it's even possible to be able to see a Godzilla movie and have it be the best Godzilla movie ever made if it's not Toho?
I think it's possible, yeah. I think it's going to be hard because there's over 30 films, and you're always going to remember moments from all those films. Like, you might have a favorite scene or something, and so you kind of remember all these pieces of all these movies. But to put it all together into one film, and this one film is the best, like that's tough.
That's a tall order.
But I think that there's a lot of things it could do better than a lot of the older ones. So
even with
they're not costumes, they're like rubber suits anymore. Yeah, I know.
Even though the CG has gotten so good now that it's like, do you think that no matter what, if it's not like a costume, like what is lost? What are we losing by it not being a costume?
A good question. I mean, you do lose a little bit of appeal because when you watch the older movies, you know it's somebody in a suit, and that kind of is part of what the Godzilla movies were about. It's about people in monster suits fighting and wrecking like actual like structures that were built.
It's just kind of like that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. And no matter what you do, no matter how good a job they do in the computer, it's still
it's still not a guy in a suit.
It's part of the novelty. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The novelty is lost a little bit. But I still think they're going to do a good job. The one thing I'm worried about is that in the trailer... Okay, let me back up. Godzilla 2014, one of my biggest problems with that and Pacific Rim and all these newer movies... The monsters only fight at night in the rain. And then the new trailer comes out for this new Godzilla. And guess what? They're fighting at night in the rain again.
I wonder.
So I haven't seen the movie yet. I've only seen the trailer. So maybe there's more. That maybe they do fight in the day. I'm gonna wait and see. But that is one thing I'm a little concerned about, because if there's one thing I could request is just, can we please see the monsters fight in the day?
Right.
Yeah. Because the 2014 movie was so dark and ugly. I really hope they correct that with this one.
Dark and ugly.
Yeah, it was. It was a dark, depressing, ugly-looking movie. It had some great moments, but they could have brightened it up a little.
Did you ever get a good version of the one that we saw with all the subtitles?
Oh, Shin Godzilla?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They put that out for real on
Blu-ray. You have that now?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you have subtitles, but it's not like where it had... Because you're talking about a version that had, first of all, a watermark because it was a screener copy, like a pre-screener. And then you had the Japanese subtitles, and then with the English subtitles on top of those.
So
it was like 3 layers of subtitles. This one, it just has the English subtitles.
Like
I know. There are words all over the screen. It's crazy.
I was having a little trouble following it.
That was weird, yeah.
Is this thing in any movie a giant, like Mars tumor?
Not that I remember.
Doesn't it seem redundant, this game? It's very like the same kind of thing over and over.
I feel like, your reward is to see more of the monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one of the reasons why I want to keep going for a bit, just to see what else. Because I don't remember when I did the nerd episode how far I got. So
I read that was, at least at the time I remember, that was one of my favorite end rants. Because I like how you did like you name all the monsters. I forget what you said, but it was like Barugan's ass and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, but Baragon.
Yeah, sorry.
Barugan's Gamera. Isn't that confusing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Isn't that fucking confusing? that there's Barugan and Baragon? Not that they're the same series, but...
technically, that's the Gamera. Like, sorry. Jesus Christ. I'm not an expert.
Oh, that's so confusing.
The only Godzilla movie I had seen before you, I think, was Mothra. And you know what? That's not true. The one where they all fight, the Destroy All Monsters.
You've seen Destroy All Monsters before me? Okay.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I saw it. I remember it was on television.
Yeah. On television?
Yeah.
That was a hard one to find. I remember that was like the most elusive one.
Was it?
Yeah, like I tried to see it for so many years until one day it played on the Sci-Fi Channel, which my cable provider didn't have, but I had in the TV guide, so I would see things that I couldn't watch. So I had a friend who had the Sci-Fi Channel. I had him record it for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like a while. Destroy All Monsters was one of the last ones I saw, actually.
I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of the Godzilla movies as a kid. Like I said, I only seen, I guess, those two. So somehow I caught it on TV as a kid.
Huh. Yeah.
And I didn't watch the whole movie either. I just remember seeing that, like, with them fighting. I think also, like, I guess the other big part of it was, like, the fact that the movies were, like, in Japanese.
Well, they were.
I know they overdubbed them, but
Yeah,
I guess I thought the overdubbing was, like, weird.
I think a lot of people did in America, at least, like, because a lot of I didn't know anybody who was interested in those movies because the dubbing would turn them off.
Right.
Like,
everybody used to make fun of it.
Yeah, everybody made fun of the dubbing, and everybody always, the way they made fun of dubbing, they'd be like, "Oh, you like Godzilla?"
Yeah, and then
they keep moving their mouth. It's like that doesn't happen in the movies. Like they don't talk for that much longer, you know.
It's you know what? It's probably, if that happens, it's probably like very like slight or something, and it's probably or just because like the mouths don't actually match.
Yeah, it's not the same language. It's never
right.
gonna match. Like,
no, of course.
There's no possible way.
And it's
match.
just people like
being
stupid. Yeah.
When Godzilla 2000 came out, the only reason they put that out in theaters was because we had Godzilla 98.
Yeah.
Godzilla 2000 came out in theaters while I was working at a movie theater, and I remember being the only person watching it. I was alone in the theater all by myself watching this, and they dubbed it, so I saw it at a midnight screening, and it was just me. And then when I saw it during the day with more people, I remember there weren't many people seeing it, but when they came out, the reaction was, why doesn't the words match the mouth? And everybody's talking, I'm like, oh god damn it! Like they don't know they don't understand. And people also thought it was going to be a sequel to the '98 Godzilla.
Yeah.
And people were confused because you had two reboots really close to each other. One was American, one was Japanese, and it's a shame that the Japanese one, which was more authentic to the character, keeps getting lumped into Godzilla 98. People think it's the same thing.
I don't think that's ever going to change. I think if they release an overdub one like today, I think the same thing would happen. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to change.
Yeah, so because Godzilla 2000 tanked in the USA so badly, they didn't release any of the others of the Millennium series. So there was this long period where I had to, every time a new one would come out, I'd have to like order it on the internet, you know? And so 2014 was a
I
big
remember
deal.
you and I going around in the city looking for I don't know what one it was. Maybe it was Final Wars.
It was
or something.
GMK, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that. We were on South Street.
It was GMK.
It was it's South Street. I can't say the whole title. We were on South Street.
That's All Out Attack.
What?
That one's the Godzilla whatever All Out Attack.
Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters, All Out Attack.
And that's why it's GMK.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to.
Not to mention Baragon's in it. Nobody mentions Baragon.
Oh, you mean Barugan?
No, Baragon.
I'm on the end of this. Watch this.
Yeah, let's see.
Alright, so now we're on the third field. This is Jupiter, so let's go ahead and see. Okay, so these are the three guys that were on the previous station, and then they're going to add one, apparently. Is that the Smog Monster?
That's the Smog Monster.
Hedorah.
Hedorah.
Hey, I'm no spring chicken. I know some of this shit myself. So if we spend like another hour, we can get to there. So I assume you have to. He's probably standing on where you got to get to.
Yeah.
And then you got to make it through all these guys.
It's a shame you have to do all the other monsters all over again because.
Yeah. Well,
I'm really curious of how long before Ghidorah.
Oh, I know. This is a long fucking game. Yeah. Is all I know.
Yeah. So there's probably a lot more monsters in the game. We can keep on going, but long game. And we have a lot more to play.
Yeah, this is one of those things. It's like many more Mondays, many more games. But really, with this one, because like this is like, I don't even like I said, I owned this when I was a kid. If I was really gonna play this, like maybe I'll stream it or something. But this is probably like, I don't even know. Like, God knows, 8 hours probably or more. Or who the fuck knows how many hours we'd have to sit here and play this. But it's kind of like. It's very redundant. It's kind of the same thing like over and over. And someday I would like to beat this, but it's like. Let's move on, you know?
Yeah, we have a lot to do today, so yeah.
Alright, thanks for watching. I do want to say one thing. this was to sit here and play this. This was a nostalgia trip for me because this right here probably is the furthest I've ever seen the game. Like I don't remember ever seeing this green map before, so I've probably never seen that right there. That smog monster. So I was glad we went through this, and I was glad we were able to throw out there some positive things about this game, because I think people assume automatically if it's in a nerd video, oh, it's just a bad game.
Yeah,
But
it's
I don't think
not that bad.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's pretty good.
Right.
I mean, there might be some problems, but it's really not a bad game.
Yeah, thanks for watching.